Hello everyone, welcome to goclasses and to another mentorship session. I hope you are doing good with your preparation. So I'm Pragati, and just a brief about me. I had graduated last year in BTech, and since then I started preparing around June 2025. And in this year, my normalized gate score was 70, and my rank was 285. And now I will be joining IISc Bangalore for MTech in CS. So, whoever has joined, if you have got any questions, then please raise your hand or just put it in the chat. Okay. Okay. So, did you attend all weekly quizzes? No, I came across Go classes pretty late. Until then, I was preparing from YouTube, so I did not take like attend or give the weekly quiz. However, I did take the test series and I solved not many, but because I came across Go classes pretty late around in October end. So I could give only a few topic wise tests and subject wise tests. And those were really good. Like I felt whatever tough questions were there in the GATE exam, which were slightly different from, the normal ones which sort of repeat over the years, the trickier questions, I felt that I already had seen them in the test series. And was weekly design tougher because it feels so actually, since firstly I did not give the weekly quiz, I had only taken the test series. However, yes, I agree that the weekly quiz you will for sure find it tougher, because these, even the test series you will also find tough, but it's possible that a few of the weekly quizzes are even harder, because these things are designed on, it's not to test your knowledge or how much good you are doing. It's not like what your weekly quiz or test series score is will be what you will be getting in gate. It's not like that. The only thing is that these are designed tougher so that you can learn the most from these, because from every question it's slightly tricky, or a very in-depth concept, or some intuitive thing is used in the answers. That is because so that you can learn the most from it, and your problem solving skills will also increase when you will analyze the answer for these quizzes. So if you're giving a weekly quiz, don't get demotivated after looking at the marks, or after looking at the tough question paper. If you feel like your only objective should be that after giving the test, whatever 10-15 questions are there, you need to go through the solution for every single one of those, and that too in depth, not just look at the solution and memorize it. Okay. So I hope that answers your question. Right, it is going to be tough. It's just that you need to analyze at the analyze the questions. It doesn't matter if you go through the syllabus or your notes to do that, or if you look at the gate overflow website, or anywhere you look it up, that doesn't matter. The objective of weekly quiz is that if you have given a test, then that should mean that whatever 10 to 15 questions were there in them, after the test you know the solution for all of that, so that if now the question comes again, then you won't be making a mistake. And if you're learning anything new from that, or if you feel that something was of good level or it was very tricky, then you should write that in your notebooks. I always suggest that instead of making notes with the limited time you have, it's better if you make such a notebook where you are writing just the concepts that you're learning through these questions. And even in test series, be it weekly quiz, everything you will find it to be tough. That's the purpose of it. Okay. And another question is, I will finish PYQs. Is it topic wise test, subject wise test by end of October, or full syllabus? Am I on the optimal path? Yes, for sure. I feel like if you are done with the test series, like the subject wise test as well as the PYQs by October, then that is really good. Now, after that, what will be left for you is to revise the syllabus again, whether you're preparing for DA or CS. In either of the case, you will have to revise the all the notes again, and then you will have to do the questions which you find harder, or the notes that I just asked you like suggested you to make from the test series that you're giving. So these things, will these questions, or some other PYQs which you had marked favorite to look over again, also along with as many weekly quizzes or subject or topic wise tests which are left. So in the test, whatever, if there's any backlog, if not, then the revision, and then the full length test if you will be giving from November, that would be really great. I would say you are on the most optimal path. It's just that you'll have to keep revising after that instead of taking it lightly, because I would still say that you're right now thinking that you will be able to complete your syllabus by October. But as I said, the tests are really tough, so that you have to give time into each question, and also have to, like, in the answer for each question, you need to thoroughly understand like how the question was solved. And on few questions you'll have to give like 15 to 20 minutes or even more than that. So it this is also time consuming, but with that, if you're able to finish in October, that is great. Even if your syllabus is just finished by October along with PYQs and one round of revision, then that is also great actually. But since you will be doing the test series also, then that's even better. Okay. Another question is by Shreya. Shreya, would you like to unmute and ask, or should I read your chat message itself?
Oh, hello, ma'am.
Hi, Shreya.
Actually, I wanted to ask about the PYQs. Like currently, I'm,
Yes.
behind the weekly schedule. Like I'm
Okay.
following subject to operating system, but
Hmm.
but I am in the backlog with digital logic subject and computer organization and architecture as well.
Okay. And how many subjects have you completed?
Uh, like discrete math,
Hmm.
engineering math,
Okay.
and C programming, yeah,
Okay.
and computer networks as well. Like I'm
Okay.
going as per weekly schedule, but these are the subjects which
Okay.
I'm left with. Yeah.
Okay. And the ones that you've completed, have you done it along with the PYQs?
No, ma'am. Ma'am, I have not done PYQs by my own. I have only solved the PYQs which were there in the lecture.
Okay.
Like that, I used to do firstly myself, and also I have done weekly quizzes of each subject.
Okay, then that's nice, but I
Only
would still.
weekly quizzes.
Pardon?
Only weekly quizzes I have
Okay,
done.
okay.
Not yet started the test.
All right. So, see, even weekly quizzes you have done is great, but I would suggest that, PYQs are also important. But if you keep delaying it, then at the end you'll have many, many PYQs to solve. And also you'll have to give the test series at that time. So, if that's possible for you, firstly, I would suggest that you take out, not more, just 1 hour in a day. That should also be enough. If you have done three subjects, 1.5 hour, if that's possible for you, take it out. Are you preparing with a drop, or you're a college student or job?
Yes,
What's
yes. Drop.
okay? So if possible, take out an hour time for the PYQs also, because as I said again, later on that would be a lot of backlog of PYQs, and PYQs are a must. You have to do it. So maybe in the beginning you will feel like it's taking a lot of time, but as days will pass, it will you will be familiar with solving questions. And it's important that we are in a habit of solving questions every day, even for the subjects that we have completed, so you won't forget those, right? Because you're constantly solving the PYQs of the subjects you have done. Now apart from that, for the current subject, see, the only thing is, if you're not able to keep up with the weekly schedule, that's fine, but the main target is that you complete your entire syllabus by October. So you'll have to maybe manage more time, or you could increase the speed of watching lectures, like maybe on 2x you could watch, or stop making notes if you are doing that. So you need to identify why there is a gap. Is it because you're not able to give that much time in a day to watching lectures?
No, actually, my learning pace is little bit slower, I would say,
Yeah,
because I used to, understand each and every concept. Even if I've understood, I used to analyze that properly.
yeah.
So I feel it like I used to take much more time in uh,
Mm.
doing the lectures as per the recommended hours it is having.
Right, but you're
Like for
taking, like, you're
example, if
not
it is
making notes,
two
right?
hours, then I would take 3 hours to complete it along with the notes.
Along with notes. Then see, one thing you could do is that you could skip making notes for now, because you will
But
have, like, you do have access to the annotated notes. You also have access to the topper notes that are there. So I would say that, see, if you're making the notes the long if you're making short notes, then that is fine. Like, short notes means just maybe 1 2 pager or something, for 1 pager for a lecture. But if you're going with the long notes, then with the time that is left, I would say that that's not the priority, because if you're writing everything that's being said in the lecture, then that is already there in the annotated notes, right?
no, I
So
used to make
yeah,
digital note. I used to write the
yeah.
numerical part only.
Hmm.
Rest of them I used to make digital notes. Like I don't used to write it again. I used to make
Yeah,
I use canvas for making the note so that every part of it
yeah.
get into my mind like a mind map. So I
Right,
don't
that's
know.
correct. But I would say that, with the time, see, notes, if you are making your own notes, then that is definitely good. It's not like it's a waste of time. But I would say, with the time remaining, because you've just done, if we take maths as, one subject, there are 10. So you have just done three, right? C programming, maths, and computer networks. That also, all the PYQs are left for these three subjects. And like, not even half of the syllabus is done. Seven subjects are still pending, and PYQs for all 10 of them. So with there are other things to do as well right now. I would say that you could try doing is that, if you're watching a lecture, see, even if you don't make notes, right, if you just watch the lecture and focus only on understanding the concepts. So suppose you're watching a lecture of COA, so you just sit with a rough notebook, you solve the questions which are there in the lecture, right, on your own. Try to do it on your own first. So with that, if it takes you 3 hours instead of 2, that is fine, right? But at least you're not doing anything that's repetitive, because if you're making digital notes or any sort of notes, everything is already there in the annotated notes, which is there for every module. So you could try watching a lecture with just with a rough notebook and pen, just solve the numericals which are there in it, and then just a second. Um, Okay. Yeah, Shreya. So I was saying that what you could try is that, just try to understand the lecture. I'm sure initially maybe it will take you the same amount of time. If you feel like you understand, if understand it better, if you watch it on a slower pace, or pause in between and visualize it first, then do it in that approach only. But it may take you the same amount of time in the beginning, but with time your speed will get increased for sure if you're not making notes. Because initially when I was making notes, it took me, like, very long. So if there's a 2 hour lecture, it took me almost double time, or 3 hours at least, to watch the lecture if I'm making notes. But later on, when I stopped, I made notes only for two subjects in the first month of preparation, for COA and DBMS. But later on, when I realized that there are a lot of subjects, I stopped making notes. So initially my speed of watching the lecture was same, like it took me the same 3 hours, because I was used to that pace. But towards the end, I watched about 8 to 9 hours of lecture in a single day, along with solving PYQ questions and a few subject wise or topic wise test also one day, in the same day I used to give. So this, you will for sure pick up pace if you stop making notes. And also, there, if you just see, there is no point in making notes, right? You are not gaining anything extra. Because if as soon as you're done with a lecture, just go through the annotated notes once. Because if you are not going to do that, then later on when you will come to revising, then you won't understand the annotated notes. Whereas just doing this 5 minutes task of just going through that PPT once you're done with that lecture, then later on whenever you will see, it won't take you as a lot of time to revise also. Now why I'm suggesting this is that if you see whatever you are writing in your notes, everything is already available, so that time you could use in solving a lot of PYQs and other questions, because those are also left for you, right? And that's your priority. PYQs you have to do later on. You see, slowly the backlog will keep increasing if you're making notes along with it, and your speed is also slow with making notes, right? One thing is that if you're making notes and you're fast with it, but if you understand that it is taking you time, then the only way is either you give more hours in the day, but that also depends on your routine, right? It's not like you will understand also all the time. If you just merely increase your time, and you are tired by the end of the day by making notes and everything, so that won't also make sense, because at the end of the day the point is that you understand the lecture properly. And according to me, even if you're not making the proper notes, then also you will understand the lecture. Just whatever question is coming in between the lecture, whatever sir is giving, you just pause the video, try to solve it on your own. That's important, because if you just look at the solution, then you will think that okay, I understood. But if you had tried it first now, then you will understand the solution better for sure. Now that also doesn't mean that you give entire like 20 minutes into solving a question until and unless you don't come up with the answer. That's not it. You just give 2 to 3 minutes. If you are able to solve in that time, then fine. Otherwise you look at the solution, you will still understand better, because once you have attempted, you get some idea, right? And then you understand the correct solution also better. So my suggestion would be that you sit only with a rough notebook, and focus on understanding the lecture properly and taking the most knowledge from it. Don't focus on making notes or how you'll revise later on. While watching the lecture, just focus on learning. And that I'm saying only because the time is very less now, and most of your syllabus is pending, and PYQs, so everything is pending. No matter what, you have to do PYQs at least once or like it, one time, and then the tricky questions you have to revise again. So all of this along with notes won't be possible if your speed is also slow. So you could try at least watching just the lectures, right, without making notes.
Hmm. Okay, so what should be my week, like daily routine, if you say it in a concrete way, like if I can give uh like like a rough calculation of like what weekly schedule should be including.
Okay, you are taking a drop, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so since you have the full day to yourself, in terms of, see, overall routine should be that right now with the amount of time left for gate, you wake up and then you just study till the time you go to bed, basically, right? And in terms of routine, I would suggest that in your most focused hours, like in the hours where you are, most focused, it could be, right after waking up or whenever in the day you feel
No,
the
no,
most
not
productive.
like that. I'm
Yeah.
trying to ask like what should I include? For example, you should be doing this task, and this.
Yeah, right. So in that sense, see, as I said, in your most focused hours, you watch the lectures for the subjects that are still pending, right? Like I mean the new subjects, be it
Okay.
according to the weekly schedule. So see, if you are in your the subject which is in your backlog right now, right? If half of it is left and the new subject according to the weekly schedule you have not started yet, then of course finish the older subject one, because at a time I won't suggest you to do more than two subjects. It's, I think, enough to do two subjects at a time. Otherwise, I mean, you could get confused or anything. Two subjects is good because then you don't get bored. So two subjects you can pick at once, right? Be it your backlog
Okay.
or current subject. And if you want to catch up with the weekly schedule, then I would say that give more hours in a day. So if you just have one subject in your backlog, and then you can try to adjust those hours in your day. So firstly, for the new subject, you give most of the time should be going towards covering the new subjects, and then you take out because since abhi 7 subjects are left, firstly, you take out only 1 or 1.5 hour to solving questions of the 3 subjects which you had done earlier, and fix a target that I'll solve at least 15 questions. And if you're not able to solve the PYQs, that means that you have forgotten those topics. So firstly, in that, suppose you have decided that 8 to 9 p.m. I'm going to do PYQs. So if you're not able to solve PYQs, then for PYQs it's not the right approach to look at the solution for every question. If you are in a position that you have to do that, then just stop the PYQs and revise that subject first, and then come again to PYQ. And PYQs you could do topic wise. So since maths is a very huge topic, I'm sure if you have done it 2 or 3 months back, then till now you won't remember concepts in everything. So first revise a topic, then you give the PYQs in the next few days, like that. Take out 1 to 2 hours for PYQ for the subjects you have done earlier. Because if we don't revise the subjects, then we would be as good as doing it for the first time after a few months. So you have to keep revising what you've done earlier. And as of now, just make sure that you are having two subjects in your plate at once. Now, be it your backlog one or current weekly schedule one, just pick two subjects. And also, I would say stop making notes and try to just watch the lectures with the only focus of understanding everything. So, what's in the weekly schedule for this week? Like, how many subjects are there ongoing?
Actually, COA is going to complete this week, and DBMS is going to start, and operating system is currently going on, which I am currently in pace with. And I've planned that कि मैं DBMS भी साथ में ही रखूंगी, start कर दूंगी. But should I do the same like DBMS? Should I start or not?
I mean, then आपके पास आप as you said कि digital logic is also still going on. Then
No,
COA
no,
is there.
digital logic I'm not doing. I'm doing
Okay.
computer organization, but that
Okay.
was not yet, not as per the weekly schedule. It is behind.
Okay. So you already have COA and operating system going on, right? And DBMS is about to start.
Yes.
So, I mean, I would suggest, because since you also said that you take time to understand things, and I also, like, it was pretty much the same for me. So I would say that it could get slightly messy if you're doing three subjects at a time. So if possible for you to complete COA this week, you could try to OS you are in pace, right? So just follow it. As is. Then COA, you try to just whatever is left, just try to finish as soon as possible, and then you catch up with DBMS. Of course, if there is 3 hours of lecture in DBMS, and if you are behind, then of course it will be your extra responsibility on you to give 5 hours instead of three. So that time you will have to give. But I would suggest that you complete two subjects first and not take, like, three altogether, because you also have to because for the three subjects you've already completed, uske bhi PYQs are left right now. So you have to do the PYQs for that also. 1 hour will go over there, right? Because that's also a must. You have to do PYQs for those subjects. So you are doing PYQs for older subjects, then you already have two subjects going on. And then if you start DBMS, so I think it's better if you just complete COA first. OS, you are in pace. As soon as COA is left, then you start with DBMS and give more hours to studying. If you're giving 8 hours, then give 12, because maybe you'll have to actually make that effort, right? That's the only way that you will catch up and finish the syllabus by September and October. And whatever routine you follow, just please make sure that from today or tomorrow onwards, give one time to solving PYQs. Otherwise, later on, that won't be possible for sure. So ideally, if your syllabus is completing by September or October, that means that you are completing the PYQs also along with it,
Mm,
and
okay.
revision also. So if possible, give more hours towards studying, right? And
Yes.
COA, try to finish. If not this week, extend it, but try to finish it ASAP, and then you can go with DBMS, right? And for DBMS also, you could again put more effort and try to cover it. If as I said, try to give double time, so that you at least end DBMS according to, or at least near about the weekly schedule.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, yes. And another thing, Shreya, that's because, see, if you are doing OS in OS, and then you pick DBMS also according to schedule, then you will have OS to do, DBMS to do, COA to do, and also the subjects that you have done earlier, the PYQs for that. So you'll be doing 3 to 4 subjects at a time, which is a lot, I would say. So it's better if you just take one subject at a time, but definitely you will have to increase your pace then. You can't be going with the same amount of hours you're giving right now. And later on that will help you in because if you complete your syllabus in by September, and you will have a lot of time for test series, the analysis, the revision, and that will help you in like wonderful ways for gate. So just give more time right now if possible.
Yeah, okay, sure. Thank you so much.
All right. Does anyone else have a question? Okay, there's one question that after covering syllabus, did you still feel like you don't know anything? Yes, I did. See, if I used to revise a particular subject, like after I completed all 10, the subject that I revised today, I felt a bit confident that, okay, I know this. But after a week or two, I used to feel that, okay, now I don't know anything. And very honestly, even 1 or 2 days before the GATE exam, I felt that what if I am not able to solve even a single question exam? Like, just random thoughts like, what if I forget everything? Because there are a lot of, like things that you have to memorize also. A lot of formulas are also there. So a lot of particular methods are also there. So when you are doing like 10 long subjects, then towards the end, it does feel like you're forgetting things. And as I've also heard, like, I don't know if Sachin sir or who said it, but no one, like, I don't think anyone gets that feeling beforehand that they will be getting this rank in gate. The most you get is that you get that confidence in the sense that you feel that I have studied so much. Every day I've been giving 10 to 12 hours and I haven't wasted a single day. So you get that feeling that you will end up doing good. But that's mostly, you won't feel like you remember everything and all 10 subjects, and you will be getting AIR1. That's something that you won't feel. But just don't focus on that. Whenever you feel that you don't know anything or you're forgetting everything, the most you can do and the only thing you can do is that revise those things again, because that's what I also did, and that's actually what helped also. So if every week I'm feeling I forgot everything, then every week you revise again, and you just keep revising, because only with the number of revisions you keep doing, you will memorize it better, and that will help you in the exam, right? So, and try to finish your syllabus very properly. Like when you're watching a lecture, I did not make notes, but like I never had a doubt after a lecture. I never felt like I'll have to rewatch this lecture, because while watching only I watched it with very utmost focus. And if I felt that this is something that I didn't understand properly, I used to replay it then and there only. But in while watching a lecture, I was never distracted. So that is also something that helped me. And for revising, I revised through annotated notes, and you have to revise multiple times, like 3 to 4 times you need to revise. PYQs, you have to solve like every PYQ, because then also you get confidence, right? Okay, the last 15-year gate question paper I have done, and I was able to solve everything. Even the questions I was not able to solve, I looked at the solution. So that's how you build confidence. But for sure, you will feel that you're forgetting everything and what will happen in the exam. These are thoughts that you will have. But then do something to, if you feel that you're forgetting everything, then put effort to revise again. You Then this question, you watched always in 1x speed? No, actually I never watched any lecture in less than 2x speed. Like, I remember that's the first time I got YouTube Premium, because I felt like I have so much, like so many lectures to do in about October. And there were like a lot of lectures to do, because that's when I had just found go classes and everything was pending only. So I would say I didn't watch any lecture in less than 2.7x. At least it was mostly 3x, and if in some cases it was very fast, then 2.7. So my minimum was always 2.7. But I still like I used to understand everything, not like I'm just rushing through it. I used to pause and take time to go through everything, but I did watch in 2x. Then 2x, how see, I was able to, I mean, that's the only thing. Like right now also I'm doing DA, right, from Go classes, because the machine learning and everything is not on YouTube. Earlier I was studying from YouTube, and so I am watching the lectures of machine learning. Linear algebra I've completed, and everything I watched on 2x speed only, and I felt like I wish it could get a bit more faster. Like, but in Go classes the maximum I can do is 2x. So I did understand everything. If you're not able to, then maybe you could go 1.2, 1.5, or if you are doing in the right place, then just watch how you understand. But very honestly, right now, since I'm used to watching everything on 3x, and on Go classes app the maximum we can go is 2x, so I feel like it's the pace is slower. And for me, I feel like I wish that it could go till 3x over here also. I do understand things. I pause, I go through the slides, like after watching the lecture I go through the PPT and everything. So it's not like it's tough to understand, for sure. Okay. Just let me go through. Okay, there's one question by Ankit. Last year I prepared for GATE and covered the entire syllabus, but now I feel like I have forgotten almost everything. Should I start studying all the subjects from scratch again, or should I focus mainly on revision and question practice? So, Ankit, like, where did you complete your syllabus from last year? Like, was it from Go classes or not? Can you just mention one, Sanket? Because that would, like, the answer would depend on that. Like, if you had given GATE last year also, okay, so Go classes only you prepared, right? So if you have watched the lectures from Go classes, then I don't feel like there is a need to, rewatch the lectures for most of it. I would suggest that you pick, so all 10 subjects you have completed, then pick one subject, any one or two subjects you pick. Of course at a time you'll revise one only, but what you could do is that you do one subtopic of a subject, then another, like that, so you don't get bored. Basically take two subjects, revise it. So if you have, now that you have Go classes and you have studied from here itself, you go through the PPT or like the PDF that's there. So the PDFs will look longer, of course they're of about 100 to 200 pages, but even more than that for a few lectures. But those are just PPTs, so it won't take that much time. Don't get scared looking at the number of pages, but for sure you go through the PPT. Now if you're having a lot of trouble understanding that, and see, suppose you revised everything with the PPT, then you go on the PYQs of that topic. Suppose you started with computer networks, now you have done the physical layer and data link layer. You saw all the, like, error correction, everything till data link layer, you have done the PPT. Then you come to the PYQ for computer network, solve the questions for these first two layers. If you are able to do about 60% of the PYQ, 60 to 70%, that means that you're good to go. But if you're not able to solve majority of the questions, and you have to keep going back to the solutions, or if you don't understand the PPT itself, it's taking a lot of time. See, if it will take you for one PPT, if it takes you 1 hour or something, that's fine. But if you just spend maybe 5 to 10 minutes on just one slide and you're still not able to get it, then I would say, rewatch the lectures. For sure you won't have to, Ankit, you won't have to go through everything from scratch again, because as I said, if you have prepared from, if you have watched the content of Go classes, then that at least means that you are not missing out on anything, right? You will understand the notes if you have seen this lecture. And definitely, even if you have not revised the subject for 1 month, it feels like we don't know anything about it, because if you are not revising, as I said, if you have not revised for 2 to 3 months, even for 1 month, if you have not revised it at all, like if you completed your syllabus in November but you don't revise anything, then if you give the exam in February, you won't remember anything. So you will have to revise it multiple times. But revision is different. If you feel like there is knowledge gap in something, or you just barely, if you know that there's a subject that you find it tougher, or you didn't study all the lectures from Go classes, and you didn't understand PYQs of these questions, you're not able to do, then for that subject you go to the course. If there's crash course available, you watch that. But if you are getting a subject from the PPT itself, then for sure just do the annotated notes. Because for annotated notes is everything that's there in the lecture is there in the notes. If directly going through the notes you are able to understand, then great, you will have a good revision. But if आपने कोई, if there is a subject which you have not studied properly, you would know, right? You would know better, you would know which subject you have done properly and which you haven't. So if you have done all 10, if you have watched the lectures and you are confident, it's just that you forgot everything, uh, then you watch the lecture. So you're asking if you should watch compact course of go classes. See, if you want to do a subject, if compact course is available for that subject, for sure go with it. But for you, I'm saying, see, suppose there is digital logic and there's compact course for it. But Ankit, if you've already watched all the lectures of digital logic, then I would suggest that there's no use of going through the lectures again. But if you know that you have not seen all the lectures of go classes for digital logic, then you complete it from the compact course. If you are confused whether or not you should be watching the lectures, then firstly, for every subject there is a lecture, then there is a PPT for that. So you just go through the annotated notes or the PDF of that lecture. Try to complete a subject with the lecture notes. If you are not understanding the lecture notes, or if you already know that you haven't done the subject properly, then for that you go with the compact course or the lectures. And I would suggest, see, in the 10 subjects you must be at least if in the case, see, maybe for COA and operating system you're not confident at all, but for maybe digital logic and C programming you are confident, but you feel like you're forgetting everything. So for these two subjects which you find the toughest, for these subjects you watch the lectures, and for the ones you think that you had done it properly, for that you just do the notes and jump to the PYQs. If you're not able to solve the PYQs, even 40-50% you're not able to do, then that means that there is a problem and you need to go through the lectures again. But as I said, with the amount of time remaining, it's not really advisable that you go through the lectures of every subject if you've already completed, unless and until you didn't do it properly the first time, because it's utmost important that you understand every lecture properly. So if you have done a subject from go classes lectures, then you won't there's no need to rewatch it, just go through the notes, solve PYQs. And now in the case that for there are subjects which you revise the notes, no need to watch lecture, you're able to solve PYQs, then you move to the um, like the test series, the subject wise test, topic wise test, or the weekly quiz, whatever is available, you do that. Okay, Ankit. So, Ankit, in short, to summarize, see, it's very important because you have already completed your syllabus. It's very important that you utilize this time extremely well, right? Because you already have an advantage that you have completed all the subjects, or at least most of it. So you don't have to basically, you have to be very mindful about your time, because if you utilize this time to your to the best, then that will give you 100% benefit. So that's my suggestion, Ankit. And PPT are very longer, some are 100 to 200 pages. See, those 200 pages are not PDFs, it's PPT. So doing a 200 page PPT is not that hard, and only for the first time it will take longer. PPT, as I said, if you have seen the lecture from Go classes, then it's advisable to go through the PPT itself, because see, when you read something, you have to give majority from your side, because if you're reading something, 80% effort you will have to put to connect what's written and to memorize everything. So if you have already done a subject and you just need to revise, then PPT is the best way, because 80% of the effort you will have to do. So it won't take you much time. Even if it does, it will be for the good. But if you know that you haven't watched the subject from Go classes and you have the time right now, then you go through the lecture first, because if you haven't studied that concept only, then the PPT won't make sense. See, when you're watching a lecture, then 80% of the things are done from sir's side, right? From Sachin sir or Deepak sir who are teaching, and 20% of the effort, which is extremely important, has to be done by you in understanding everything. But when you are revising, then maximum effort you will have to put. So it's up to you. Again, one confusion is also my placement are started, so should I focus completely on gate and give time to placement? See, I can tell you very very clearly that you can do only one, placement or gate. Okay, so if see, placements are also not easy. These days you have to be really skillful to get a placement if you want a good one, right? Of course, even if, I would say for the okayish ones, now the level that's being demanded from you is a lot. So whatever, if you want a placement or gate, in either cases you'll have to give your 100%. So there could be a case that you are trying to manage both, then entire day you will be busy, you will be giving half of the day, you will do gate, for some time you will do placement prep, you will still be sacrificing on everything, you will be giving your best, you will be studying daily, but at the end the result won't be there, because in one thing only you have to give your 100%. So make up your mind what you have to do. If that is gate, as I told you, because you said you have done all your syllabus, then please don't get overconfident that you will be able to manage both of it. If you have done the syllabus, then you have an edge, utilize this time. Don't think that if you have completed your syllabus, now you can manage both. That's not the case. You will still have to study and give your 100% to just one thing. Both are not possible. That's the only thing I can say. You have to decide one thing for yourself. If you choose to do gate, you have very sufficient time to do the best in it. Whatever you're deciding to do, just make sure that you wake up and by the time you go to sleep, you're preparing only for that thing and not doing anything else. That's the only thing. Okay. So, what another question? I'm just going through it. So there's a question: how did you prepare for DA? Please provide some insights considering having CS in parallel. So again, I believe that we can do best only in one thing. I was preparing only for CS. For DA, again, in my final year, I started preparing for GATE only after in June. Okay, and that was after I had a placement already, because till then I was only preparing for placement. So now in my entire college, third year, fourth year, like all the time I was preparing for placement. Then in May end, I got the offer and I decided to join that. But that was not as desired by me. I was not happy with that offer. And as per my analysis, I felt that to get a placement is also very tough. And that's when I decided to go for GATE for multiple reasons. So then I started preparing for GATE exam from June, and I was preparing only for CS. But as I said that I was preparing for placements earlier, my domain, like my preference was in the field of machine learning or data science. So I had done machine learning, the basics. So that's all I remembered. I didn't really remember as much. Maths also, I would say, like everything was just in the, I would say, from the, like my prior knowledge with GATE exam. Some subjects are overlapping, right? Like 15 marks aptitude is there. Then Python programming is, like I knew Python also. So Python also covers a lot of the topic. DBMS is there. So a few subjects overlap also. And with GATE, I see, very honestly, I won't say that like the rank I had was good. So I was not preparing for DA. I would say barely cleared it. I got about 55 marks or something. So that's very basic. That won't really help also in anything. So if you are covering all GATE CS topics, yes, for sure you can attempt GATE DA. It's good to have like one thing in option, right? Like when I was preparing for CS, I just like read somewhere that maybe you don't know what happens on the CS day, so it's good to like have DA. And see, what you can do is that if you're preparing for CS, then for DA you for sure will qualify the exam, right? uh, because aptitude and with everything you will be able to get about 30 marks. So when you mostly, if CS happens first and before DA you have a week's time. So in that 1 week also, I remember I was studying day and night, whatever one shot lectures I was finding for AI and ML, and with that I was able to just get basic marks. So you can for sure attempt DA. You can at least sign up for that, but focus on CS only till the time GATE CS doesn't happen. Don't go with DA, just pick ones. Okay, so there's one raised hand. I will answer that question.
हेलो दीदी। हेलो।
Hello, yes.
मैंने 1 मंथ पहले शुरू किया था। अभी 1.5 सब्जेक्ट्स कवर है बस। तो उसमें ना
Yeah.
वीकली क्विज़ेस है, उसका भी सॉल्यूशन 1.5 घंटा 1 घंटा होता है। तो क्या मेरे
हाँ,
को फुल्ली कवर करना है कि अभी बहुत सारा सब्जेक्ट्स बाकी है, तो क्या
हम्म।
करूँ?
आपने कौन से सब्जेक्ट्स कर लिए हैं अभी?
अभी सी प्लस प्लस और डेटा स्ट्रक्चर्स आधा बाकी है।
ओके। तो सी, वीकली क्विज़ेस इंपॉर्टेंट तो हैं, आपको अटेम्प्ट तो करनी ही चाहिए, बट ऑफ कोर्स पहला प्रायोरिटी तो ये है कि आप सिलेबस कवर करो, क्योंकि अगर आप इन सब, क्योंकि वीकली क्विज़ टफ भी
हाँ
होती है, उसमें टाइम लगेगा करने में। वो
हाँ,
क्वेश्चंस
एनालाइज
हर
करने
क्वेश्चन
में
से
वो
आपको
बहुत
मोस्ट
आधा दिन या
एग्ज़ैक्टली,
फिर एक 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 समय पूरा दिन निकल जाएगा।
यस राइट। तो अभी आपका फ़ोकस आई वुड से होना चाहिए कि आप पहले जो बचा हुआ सिलेबस है वो कंप्लीट करो, और क्योंकि आपने सी और डीएसए ऑलमोस्ट कर रखा है, तो
हाँ
दिन में आप सिर्फ 1 घंटा ही रखो, क्योंकि अभी आपके पास इतना टाइम नहीं है, आपको मेजॉरिटी टाइम अभी आपको अपना लेक्चर कंप्लीट करने में देना है।
हाँ
राइट? तो अभी आप
हाँ
1 घंटा रखो जिसमें आप सी और डीएसए के पीवाईक्यूज़ करोगे। क्योंकि जब आप पीवाईक्यूज़ करते हो, राइट? तो डेली पहले तो स्टार्टिंग में आपसे नहीं बनेंगे क्वेश्चंस, फिर धीरे-धीरे वो पीवाईक्यूज़ होने लगते हैं। तो फिर आप एक थोड़ा
हाँ
क्वेश्चन सॉल्विंग के उसमें आ जाते हो, फ्लो में आ जाते हो। फिर आप सारे पीवाईक्यूज़ कर चुके हो, तो उसके बाद जब आप वीकली क्विज़ अटेम्प्ट करोगे, तो आपसे मेबी क्वेश्चंस ज़्यादा बन जाए, या फिर आप अगर एनालाइज़ कर रहे हो तो वो भी आपसे जल्दी होंगे। एंड ऑल्सो मेरा एक
हाँ
सजेशन है कि जैसे आपने अभी सी किया और फिर अभी डीएसए कर रहे हो, तो आई वुड
हाँ
से कि अभी आप वो सब्जेक्ट उठाओ जो आपको सबसे ज़्यादा टफ लगता है। क्योंकि अगर आप अपनी स्टार्टिंग के सब्जेक्ट्स में, सपोज़ आपको सीओए बहुत टफ लगता है और ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम, ठीक है? तो अगर आप ये
हाँ
दोनों सब्जेक्ट्स सबसे पहले कर लोगे, तो स्टार्टिंग में हमारा पेस ना थोड़ा स्लो होता है, ये मोस्टली ऐसा ही होता है कि हम स्टार्टिंग में आराम-आराम से देखते हैं, और जब बाद में लाइक अक्टूबर तक या हमें लगता है कि अब तो गेट एग्ज़ाम 2-3 महीने
हाँ
में है,
हाँ
तो हम अपनी स्पीड तेज़ करते हैं। तो अगर आप मुश्किल सब्जेक्ट्स पहले कर लोगे तो वो बेटर रहेगा, क्योंकि लास्ट में ईज़ी सब्जेक्ट्स अपने आप भी आपसे फास्टर स्पीड में हो जाएँगे। तो अभी आई वुड से जो सब्जेक्ट आपको सबसे टफ लगता है, आप वो करना स्टार्ट कर दो। आप क्या अभी 3rd ईयर में हो, 4th ईयर या फिर क्या?
हाँ, नहीं ड्रॉपर
ओके, देन आपके
फुल
पास
टाइम
ये
है।
हाँ, तो आपके पास पूरा दिन है पढ़ने के लिए। तो और आई वुड से अगर आपने 1 महीने पहले ही पढ़ना स्टार्ट किया और आपने सी कर लिया और डीएसए हाफ हो गया, तो यू आर मतलब आप अच्छे पेस पे ही चल रहे हो। बट अभी
हाँ
आप 2 सीएस के सब्जेक्ट्स ले लो, जो भी आपको थोड़े टफ लगते हो।
हाँ हाँ,
हाँ,
समझ।
राइट? और आप
हाँ
कंप्लीट भी कर चुके हो अपना कॉलेज। अगर आपने बीटेक सीएस करी है, तो आप सारे
हाँ,
सब्जेक्ट्स
बीटेक
में,
की।
हाँ, तो थोड़ा बहुत फ़ैमिलियर तो हो गई है, ऐसा नहीं होगा कि आपके लिए कुछ एकदम ही नया है। तो आप ऑफ़
हाँ हाँ,
कोर्स जो मुश्किल सब्जेक्ट्स हैं 2, वो उठा के चलो, जो सबसे ज़्यादा वेटेज के भी हैं, मतलब वेटेज आई वुड से सारे सब्जेक्ट्स का मोर और लेस सेम ही होता है।
मैंने
बट
ना
हाँ,
वो सीओए और थियरी ऑफ कंपटीशन लास्ट में रखा है, तो क्या अप्रोच सही नहीं है?
आई मीन आई वुड से
क्योंकि वो थोड़ा वेटेज में इतना नहीं आता है ना, पहले ये कोर सब्जेक्ट वाला कंप्लीट कर लूँ, उसके बाद थोड़ा हार्डवेयर का जो होता है वो सीख लूँ।
ओके। हाँ, तो सी मतलब ठीक है, जो भी स्ट्रैटेजी है, मेरे केस में मुझे सीओए एक्चुअली, सीओए लेंदी भी है, मतलब टफ तो नहीं है, बट हाँ, थोड़ा-सा मतलब मुझे पर्सनली टफ लगता था, तो मैंने
हाँ
सीओए से शुरू किया, और डीबीएमएस उसके कंपैरिज़न में काफ़ी ईज़ी है, लाइक ईज़ी टू
हाँ हाँ
अंडरस्टैंड है बहुत, आपको इतना बहुत विजुअलाइज़ नहीं करना होता, ईज़िली समझ आ जाता है। तो मैंने ऐसे एक टफ सीओए के साथ डीबीएमएस किया था, क्योंकि इतना हार्डवेयर और इतना थ्योरेटिकल अगर टफ लग रहा है, तो फिर थोड़ा कुछ दिन बाद डीबीएमएस पढ़ लिया उस टाइप से। बट चलो, अगर आप
हाँ
वो
हाँ
बात के लिए भी रख रहे हो, तो अभी आई वुड से एटलीस्ट कंप्यूटर नेटवर्क और ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम तो स्टार्ट कर देना। क्योंकि
हाँ,
कंप्यूटर नेटवर्क
ठीक।
भी काफ़ी लेंदी है और ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम भी। तो एटलीस्ट आप ये
हाँ
दोनों सब्जेक्ट्स उठा लो अभी। डीएसए अगर आपने हाफ कर लिया है, तो अभी आप सिर्फ एक ही पिक कर लो। जैसे डीएसए कर लिया, अब आप कंप्यूटर नेटवर्क, जस्ट फॉर एग्जांपल, डीएसए के साथ अब आप कंप्यूटर नेटवर्क कर रहे हो। फिर जैसे ही आपका डीएसए खत्म होता है, तब आप कंप्यूटर नेटवर्क के साथ ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम ले लेना। ठीक है?
ठीक
और
है।
इसके
हाँ
साथ में, क्योंकि मैथ्स बहुत लेंदी है और मैथ्स से काफ़ी क्वेश्चंस भी आते हैं, उसका भी वेटेज है। तो मैथ्स
हाँ
भी आप इकट्ठे अभी नहीं कर पाओगे विद द, मतलब अभी जितना लिमिटेड टाइम बचा है, तो
हाँ
मैथ्स आप
हाँ
एक साथ नहीं कर पाओगे, और लास्ट के लिए रखोगे तब तो हो ही नहीं पाएगा। तो आप अभी क्या कर सकते हो, जैसे आप पढ़ रहे हो, ठीक है? अब आप कोई भी 2-3 दिन का ऐसे बीच में टाइम निकाल लेना, जब आपका कोई सब टॉपिक कंप्लीट हो रहा है। ऐसे जैसे सपोज़ आप ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम में मेमोरी मैनेजमेंट कर रहे हो, राइट? तो जब
हाँ
आपका पूरा हो जाए, उसके बाद ही अगर एंड में जो भी आता है उसका, वो स्टार्ट करने से पहले लाइक एक सब टॉपिक पूरे कंप्लीट करके फिर मैथ्स आप बीच में कर लेना। लाइक कैलकुलस छोटा-सा है, तो आप किसी भी 2 दिन उठाओ और उसमें कैलकुलस कंप्लीट कर दो। ठीक है? और फिर उसको टिक कर दो कि ठीक है कैलकुलस हो गया। फिर आप किसी दिन सेट कंप्लीट कर दो। फिर ऐसे करके जब आपके 2-3 सब्जेक्ट हो गए और आपके ये छोटे-छोटे सब टॉपिक्स भी हो गए, तो फिर आप कोई
हाँ
ऐसा कर सकते हो कि मे बी आप टीओसी के साथ आप फिर या फिर डिजिटल लॉजिक या किसी ऐसे कंप्यूटर साइंस वाले थ्योरेटिकल सब्जेक्ट के साथ फिर लीनियर अलजेब्रा शुरू कर दिया, क्योंकि लीनियर अलजेब्रा लेंथी है, प्रोबेबिलिटी भी थोड़ा-सा लेंथी है। बाकी सारे छोटे-छोटे टॉपिक्स हैं और डिस्क्रीट में कॉम्बिनेट्रिक्स भी थोड़ा-सा टफ है, बाकी सब ईज़ी-ईज़ी है। तो आप ईज़ी-ईज़ी चीज़ें ऐसे 1-2 दिन का ही टाइम दो और उसके अंदर पूरा सुबह से शाम पढ़ के खत्म कर दो, ठीक है? और
ठीक है। हाँ
अभी आई वुड हाइली रिकमेंड कि देखो डिजिटल लॉजिक फिर भी छोटा सब्जेक्ट है, टीओसी
हाँ
भी कंपैरेटिवली छोटा सब्जेक्ट है, बट ये सी और डीएसपी ठीक है, लॉजिकल सब्जेक्ट है, बट ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम और कंप्यूटर नेटवर्क और
हाँ
कंपाइलर, सीओए इन सब में काफ़ी ज़्यादा थ्योरी है। तो अगर आप
थियरी
सीओए
है।
अगर
हाँ
आपने डिसाइड किया है बाद में रखने के लिए, तो आप
हाँ
अभी सीएन और ओएस तो स्टार्ट कर ही दो। डीबीएमएस भी अगर आप थोड़ा लेट करते हो तो वो जल्दी हो जाएगा, क्योंकि वो ईज़ी टू अंडरस्टैंड है। लेंथी डीबीएमएस भी है, तो वो भी आपको इवेंचुअली तो सभी करना है, बट अभी आप थोड़े टफ सब्जेक्ट्स मतलब टफ तो क्या बट हाँ, ये वाले सब्जेक्ट्स भी करना स्टार्ट कर दो और मैथ्स आप टॉपिक वाइज़ बीच-बीच में करते चलना। एंड उसके बाद
हाँ
अभी के लिए आप मे बी 45 मिनट्स रखो, क्योंकि अभी तक आपने सी ही कंप्लीट किया है, तो इतने भी पीवाईक्यूज़ नहीं होंगे। आप मे बी हाफ एन आवर से 1 आवर के बीच में टाइम रखो और उसमें फिर सी
हाँ।
के पीवाईक्यूज़ करना स्टार्ट कर दो जो आपने किए हैं। ओके, और
अच्छा
अगर
ठीक
आपको
है।
लगता है
हाँ
कि आप ऐसे डिसाइड करो कि अक्टूबर तक आपका सारा सिलेबस खत्म होना चाहिए विद पीवाईक्यूज एंड रिवीजन आल्सो। रिवीजन भी आपको करते चलना है। अभी तो आपने सी ही किया है, सी सी और डीएसए काफी लॉजिकल है, तो इसमें इतना कुछ रिवाइज करने का नहीं आएगा। बट जब आप सपोज कंप्यूटर नेटवर्क आप कर लोगे, ठीक है, तो
हाँ
वो बहुत लेंदी है। जब आप एंड तक पहुंचते हो तो आप मोस्ट प्रोबेबली स्टार्टिंग आप भूल जाओगे। टफ बिल्कुल नहीं है, वुड से टफ इनमें से कोई भी सब्जेक्ट नहीं है। इनफैक्ट ये
हम्म,
थ्योरेटिकल सब्जेक्ट्स तो काफ़ी ईज़ी ही है आई वुड से, क्योंकि आपने एक बार कॉन्सेप्ट समझ लिया, तो कुछ इसके बाहर से बहुत ऐसा नहीं आएगा, उस कॉन्सेप्ट से ही आएगा। तो आपको बस वो कॉन्सेप्ट्स बार-बार रिवाइज़ करने हैं, ऑलराइट? तो जब आप
हाँ
सपोज़ आपने सीएन और ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम करा है, तो जब ये पूरे खत्म हो जाए तब आप अगला मान लो डिजिटल लॉजिक और डीबीएमएस शुरू करोगे। अब आप जब ये दोनों सब्जेक्ट कर रहे होगे, तब आप फिर दिन में एक की जगह 1.5 घंटा निकाल लो पीवाईक्यूज़ के लिए, और तब आप सीएन और ओएस के पीवाईक्यू करो। अब पहली बार में हो सकता है, क्योंकि आपने इतना पहले कंप्यूटर नेटवर्क स्टार्ट किया था, पहला टॉपिक तो 1 महीने हो गए होंगे, तो आपको उसको पीवाईक्यू नहीं बनेंगे। तो आप तब एक बार रिवाइज़ करो टॉपिक, फिर उस टॉपिक के क्वेश्चन करो, ऐसे करके। उसके बाद 2 हफ्ते बाद आपको फिर भी लगेगा कि कंप्यूटर नेटवर्क में मैंने क्या पढ़ा था, तो आपको फिर से रिवाइज़ करना पड़ेगा। तो आपको सब कुछ पैरेलल में करना है,
अच्छा
बट फॉर नाउ आप हाँ, 2 सीएस के सब्जेक्ट्स उठा के करना स्टार्ट कर दो। और मैथ्स भी बीच में करते रहना, वेट मत करना इनका। मैथ्स बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, बट आप इकट्ठा करने की जगह उसको टॉपिक वाइज़ ब्रेक कर करके करो।
अच्छा, जो पीवाईक्यूज होते हैं ना, मतलब
हाँ,
1 घंटे में जो भी सब्जेक्ट्स कंप्लीट हुए होते हैं, तो उन
हाँ।
सारों का कवर करना है कि क्या एक एक सब्जेक्ट को सिर्फ मतलब दिन में पहले सी प्लस प्लस एक दिन में, नेक्स्ट दिन में डीएस हो गया, ऐसे, या
हाँ,
फिर
सी
मिक्स
आई वुड
करके
हाँ।
करना है?
सी आई वुड से कि पहली बार कर रहे हो तो मतलब आप टॉपिक वाइज करो तो ज़्यादा बेटर है आई वुड से। जैसे कि सी प्रोग्रामिंग में तो आई गेस इकट्ठे ही थे सारे क्वेश्चंस अराउंड 117। डीएसए में आपको ऐसे मिल जाएंगे कि स्टैक का क्वेश्चन, लिंक लिस्ट का, ऐसे करके। तो आप उसको
हाँ
टॉपिक वाइज भी कर सकते हो कि एक दिन में आपने डिसाइड किया कि मुझे स्टैक, क्यू, लिंक लिस्ट ये सब करना है, ठीक है? क्योंकि इन सब के
हाँ
कम-कम क्वेश्चंस हैं। सबसे ज़्यादा क्वेश्चन आपको ग्राफ के और ट्री के मिलेंगे। तो आप ऐसे
हाँ
सोच सकते हो कि मैं सारा ये एरे, स्टैक, क्यू ये सब आज कर रहा हूँ। फिर नेक्स्ट डे आपका मन किया आप सी प्रोग्रामिंग के कुछ भी मिक्स, जैसे आप एक जगह आपके पास सारे 130 क्वेश्चंस है सपोज, ठीक है?
हाँ
तो उसके बाद आपने 1 घंटा निकाला, उसमें आप सी के जितने क्वेश्चंस हो रहे हैं वो कर लो। 130 में से कोई ऑर्डर नहीं है। अगर आपका
हम्म,
इतना उस दिन आपका इतना मन नहीं है क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करने का, तो आप
हम्म,
130 में आपको जो भी इजी लग रहे हैं उसमें से वो करते चलो जो आपसे बन रहे हैं, राइट? और कोई भी 15
हम्म,
क्वेश्चन कर लो। फिर नेक्स्ट डे आप बाकी के कोई भी 15 क्वेश्चंस, मतलब इवेंचुअली सारे क्वेश्चन हो जाने चाहिए, फिर वो आप किसी भी सीक्वेंस में कर सकते हो। और सी एंड डीएसए का आई वुड से कि आप मिक्स
ठीक
करके
है।
कर सकते हो, इट डज़न्ट मैटर। बट मे बी ग्राफ
हाँ
और डीएसए, मतलब ग्राफ और ट्री के लिए इट्स बेटर कि आप पहले ट्री रिवाइज़ करो, क्योंकि ट्री में काफ़ी सारे फ़ॉर्मूलाज़ भी हैं, है ना? और
हाँ
कुछ-कुछ
हाँ हाँ
टर्म्स पे ट्रीज़ में है थोड़ा-सा थ्योरेटिकल, कुछ फ़ॉर्मूलाज़ हैं जो आपको कम ही है, ऐसा बहुत नहीं है, बट कंपेयर टू बाकी का सी प्रोग्रामिंग और ये जो इतना लॉजिकल है, ट्री और ग्राफ में थोड़े बहुत है, और एल्गोरिथम में भी कुछ-कुछ चीज़ें हैं। तो आप इसमें ऐसे करना कि एक बार ट्री रिवाइज़ कर लिया, फिर ट्री के पीवाईक्यू किए, फिर ग्राफ रिवाइज़ किया, फिर ग्राफ के पीवाईक्यू किए, तो ऐसे आपको याद थोड़ा ज़्यादा रहेगा मिक्स करने की जगह, है ना? बट अगर आपका है कि आपको
हाँ
सारी
हाँ
चीज़ें याद है, तो आप मिक्स करके भी कर सकते हो, तो इट डिपेंड्स कि आपको कितना याद है। बट और पीवाईक्यू तभी करना जब एक पूरा कंप्लीट हो गया हो। जैसे क्योंकि अभी आप जो सब्जेक्ट कर रहे हो उसके तो बीच में लेक्चर के बीच में क्वेश्चंस आते ही रहते हैं, राइट?
हाँ
तो जो
हाँ
एक बार कंप्लीट हो जाए सब्जेक्ट, उसके बाद पीवाईक्यू शुरू करना, क्योंकि उस तरह से आपका एक बार रिवीजन भी हो जाएगा उस सब्जेक्ट का। एंड अनदर थिंग
ठीक है
इज़ कि
हाँ
वीकली क्विज़ जो है वो भी आपको अटेम्प्ट करनी है। अब इतना ज़्यादा नहीं तो जितना टाइम मिले, लाइक इस हफ्ते 3 दिन बाद जैसे आपने अपने लेक्चर जितना टारगेट था वो आपने शाम को 6-7 बजे तक कंप्लीट कर लिया है, ठीक है? ज़्यादा
हाँ
ज़्यादा टाइम देके, क्योंकि सी आप अगर ड्रॉप लेके प्रिपेयर कर रहे हो, तो आपको काफ़ी एफर्ट दे आपको ये मेक श्योर करना है कि आप पूरे दिन में सिर्फ पढ़ ही रहे हो, एंड आई वुड से कि आपके लिए ज़्यादा इनफैक्ट टफ भी होता है, क्योंकि आप पूरे दिन सिर्फ पढ़ ही रहे होते हो, तो मतलब
हाँ हाँ
ज़्यादा ऐसा
हाँ
होता है कि है ना, हम बोर हो जा रहे हैं। बट फिर वो एक चैलेंज है जो आपको कैसे भी करके फेस करना है। आपको ज़्यादा टाइम देना ही पड़ेगा। मतलब इफ आप बोर हो रहे हो या फिर आपका फ़ोकस कम हो जा रहा है, तो स्टिल आपको वो
हाँ
आदत
टैकल
बनानी
करना
पड़ेगी
पड़ेगा।
ज़्यादा पढ़ने की, ठीक है? क्योंकि देखो इस सब के साथ आपको वीकली क्विज़ भी करनी है, उसके क्वेश्चन्स भी बहुत अच्छे लेवल के होते हैं। तो एज़ आई सेड किसी दिन
हाँ
आप
हाँ
जल्दी
कभी
ट्राई करो
कभी
कि
सिंगल डिजिट भी आ जाते हैं, मतलब इतना अच्छा मार्क्स भी नहीं आते,
हाँ,
थोड़ा
हाँ,
लेवल
राइट।
है।
यस, सी तो वही मार्क्स का मतलब नहीं है, मार्क्स जितने भी आ रहे हैं, अगर आप कोई वीकली क्विज़ दे रहे हो तो उसमें जितने भी क्वेश्चन थे, द गोल इज़ कि आपने एक टेस्ट दिया है तो उसके अंदर के सारे क्वेश्चन अब आप सॉल्व कर पाओगे आएँगे तो। वो
हाँ
गोल होना चाहिए, क्योंकि वीकली क्विज़ से आपको सीखने को बहुत मिलेगा। अगर आप नहीं दोगे तो आप काफ़ी इम्पोर्टेंट चीज़ें मिस कर जाओगे। इसलिए अपना लेक्चर ट्राई करो कि किसी-किसी दिन, हर दिन तो नहीं, अगर कुछ टफ पढ़ रहे हो तो टाइम लगेगा। बट मे बी 3-4 दिन में ट्राई करो, 1 दिन थोड़ा जल्दी कंप्लीट करके, फिर जो सेकंड हाफ ऑफ द डे उसमें आप वीकली क्विज़ दे दो, जो सब्जेक्ट आप कर चुके हो उसका। क्योंकि आपको सिलेबस कैसे भी अक्टूबर तक खत्म करना है, उस हिसाब से डिवाइड कर लो कि अगर 10 सब्जेक्ट अक्टूबर तक होने हैं, मैंने इतना कर लिया, तो मुझे इस महीने में कितना कंप्लीट करना है। डेली टारगेट मत सेट करो,
हाँ
क्योंकि वो पॉसिबल नहीं है अचीव करना। तो आप मंथली टारगेट सेट करो, लाइक जुलाई में अभी आधा महीना बचा है, तो आप करो कि मुझे डीएसए कंप्लीट करना है और उसके साथ में भी डिजिटल लॉजिक कंप्लीट करना है, क्योंकि उसका कॉम्पैक्ट कोर्स भी है, राइट, डिजिटल लॉजिक का। तो
हाँ हाँ
ऐसे करके आपको फिक्स मंथली टारगेट बनाने हैं और वो कंप्लीट करना है। तो आपका टारगेट जैसे एक पॉसिबल टारगेट ये है कि मुझे डिजिटल लॉजिक कंप्लीट करना है, डीएसए हाफ कंप्लीट करना है, और सी के जितने भी पीवाईक्यूज है वो कंप्लीट करने हैं।
वो कंप्लीट। हाँ हाँ
क्योंकि 150 पीवाईक्यूज भी हैं, तो आप दिन के 10 पीवाईक्यू भी कर रहे हो, तो 150 हो जाएंगे अभी 15 डेज में सी के। और दिन के 10 पीवाईक्यू के लिए आपको कभी हाफ एन आवर तो कभी 45 मिनट्स इतना ही देना होगा, राइट? और बचा
हाँ
हुआ सारा टाइम आपके पास पूरा दिन है लेक्चर्स देखने के लिए। आपका सिर्फ एक ही चैलेंज होगा कि आपको ज्यादा आवर्स तक बैठना पड़ेगा, राइट? उसके लिए एक
हाँ
चीज़ है
हाँ
कि आप पूरी डिस्ट्रैक्शंस वगैरह बंद कर दो, लाइक फ़ोन वगैरह बंद कर दो, फिज़िकल एक्टिविटी स्टार्ट करो, इन सब चीज़ों से फ़ोकस बेसिकली
हाँ
इंक्रीज़ होता है। तो ऐसे करके
ठीक है
आपको मैनेज करना पड़ेगा, और वीकली क्विज़ भी देते रहना, बट हाँ, अभी सिलेबस
हाँ
कंप्लीट करना प्रायोरिटी है। जब आपका 50% सिलेबस कंप्लीट हो जाएगा, राइट, लाइक सीडीएसए
हम्म,
और मे बी ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम, डीबीएमएस और कंप्यूटर नेटवर्क, जैसे ऐसे 5 सब्जेक्ट हो गए और मैथ्स के भी 5-6 टॉपिक हो गए। तब फिर आप
हाँ
टेस्ट सीरीज़ ले सकते हो, और जो सब्जेक्ट्स हो गए हैं उनके टॉपिक वाइज टेस्ट और सब्जेक्ट वाइज टेस्ट दे सकते हो साथ में बाकी सब्जेक्ट कंप्लीट करने के। तो बट अभी
हाँ
आपका ज़्यादा टाइम लेक्चर्स देखने पे जाना चाहिए, और टुवर्ड्स द एंड आपका सारा टाइम फिर क्वेश्चन पे जाएगा। बट फॉर नाउ आप लेक्चर्स देखो और पीवाईक्यू के लिए कुछ टाइम रखो। ओके।
कि उसे ना गो क्लासेस में सेपरेट नहीं है, मतलब वो मिक्स है, ठीक है, मतलब लेक्चर्स में है, लेकिन वो सेपरेट
हाँ,
मॉड्यूल जैसा नहीं है। कहाँ से करना है?
क्या?
वो टेस्ट सीरीज लेना पड़ेगा, पीवाईक्यूज, सब्जेक्ट वाइज पीवाईक्यूज।
बुक नहीं है एक गो क्लासेस की, गेट ओवरफ्लो पे एक बुक तो थी सब्जेक्ट वाइज टेस्ट की,
अच्छा वो
मतलब जो
पीडीएफ,
एक
हाँ
पीडीएफ,
देखा है मैंने। हाँ
राइट, एक
हाँ
पीडीएफ है, एक मैथ्स की है, एक मतलब बाकी सब्जेक्ट्स की है, एक इंजीनियरिंग मैथ्स करके, और एक गेट सीएस के बाकी सब्जेक्ट्स की है। तो आई थिंक
हाँ
उसमें होंगे टॉपिक वाइज क्वेश्चंस और सब्जेक्ट वाइज, क्योंकि
ठीक है ठीक।
पीवाईक्यूज आई फील वो करना ज्यादा बेनिफिशियल होता है ना, क्योंकि आप पीवाईक्यू तब कर रहे हो जब आपने एक सिलेबस सब्जेक्ट कंप्लीट
कंप्लीट।
कर लिया है। तो अब
हाँ
जब आप स्टार्टिंग की चीज की थी वो आपको टुवर्ड्स द एंड मोस्टली याद नहीं रहती है, तो आप वो एक बार रिवाइज करोगे फिर वो क्वेश्चन करोगे, और टॉपिक वाइज से आपको आइडिया भी लगता है, जैसे आपको पता चलेगा इस टॉपिक के क्वेश्चन मुझसे मोस्टली नहीं हो रहे हैं। जैसे मैंने भी टॉपिक वाइज पीवाईक्यूज किए थे, तभी मुझे ऐसा आइडिया है कि डीएसए में ट्रीज में मुझे सबसे ज्यादा टाइम लगा था, क्योंकि उसके क्वेश्चंस थोड़े अलग थे, लाइक इतने कुछ कुछ थे उसमें जो सीधा फॉर्मूला से हो रहे थे, तो इसलिए मैंने फिर ट्रीज के फिर लेक्चर्स देखे थे। बाकी मैंने सी और डीएसए में लेक्चर्स नहीं देखे थे, मैंने सीधा पीवाईक्यू शुरू किया था। तो फिर टॉपिक वाइज पीवाईक्यू करने से ही मुझे पता चला कि मुझे कौन से लेक्चर्स देखने हैं जो मुझसे नहीं हो रहे,
हाँ हाँ हाँ,
इसलिए
समझ हाँ।
टॉपिक वाइज मैं सजेस्ट कर रही हूँ।
अच्छा,
ओके, ऑलराइट।
थैंक यू। हाँ,
यस।
थैंक यू सो मच।
हाँ। ओके, एक लास्ट क्वेश्चन मैं चैट से ले लेती हूँ, which is by Shiva, that I'm going to join a service-based company in mid-August. I'll be starting GATE CS prep from this week. Also, I heard that my working would be 9 to 6. I'm confused like how to schedule subjects and also unable to fix my schedule. How much time should I give for each subject? Please give me an overview of preparation schedule. Also, if time won't permit, what subjects I can skip. Also, I plan to refer handwritten notes by toppers. If I cover DM and TOC and other subjects from compact courses, as they are not being taught in these courses in detail, so will that cause any issue later while attending my admission interview in some IITs, ISRO, etc.? No. So, if you're seeing the compact course, you won't be missing out on anything. So, I definitely suggest with the time remaining, if there are compact courses available, then without a doubt, you go with that. You won't be missing out on anything. And as per schedule, it would be that, see, there is no fixed thing that what's the schedule or how much time you should be giving. If you're going 9 to 6 at work, then whatever time you have before and after that, you will have to study in that time only. Like it will be tough, but that's the only thing. Right now it depends on you. Ideally, after coming you home, you should be giving 4 to 5 hours every day, and weekend from like if you wake up early about 5 a.m., then by 10, 11, 12, whatever time you're going to sleep, you will have to study with the necessary breaks. So overall routine is like that. And the overall, like the flow, I can tell you that you can pick two subjects, watch the lectures. Initially you will have to watch only the lectures. When you complete two subjects, take the next two, and then you solve PYQs for the two subjects you have already done. Keep revising frequently, as in when you feel like you're forgetting things. For sure, don't make notes, even I didn't. Refer to annotated notes or topper notes and revise using that itself. And if you're solving PYQs, first you do a round of revision, then go to the PYQ. And this is how you have to complete your syllabus. Set monthly targets, and then you see, if you have set a target, then it's up, like your responsibility to finish it. So if you have decided two subjects for July, then you have to give as much time as it needs to complete those subjects, right? So you will get an idea. If you plan out your day, you will know how much you'll have to study, which will be pretty much all the time. So if you're working, usually, like whatever time you have, it will go to studying only. So that's what I can just tell you. Okay, so there's a question. Since you told us you will also be preparing for GATE DA this time, can you tell how you completed all subjects right now, or which are completed, so that we can also get an idea and plan, as you can help me comprehend properly for myself. So I'm not preparing for GATE DA. I'm just following that to do linear algebra, probability, and machine learning, because I am interested in machine learning, and so like what I thought was that it will help in my MTech. So not specifically for GATE DA. I'm preparing for MTech, and my strategy right now is like very different from GATE. With like when I was preparing for GATE, I was mostly like studying all the time. Right now, I'm just doing it. Just it actually no matter how much you do it for knowledge, there is slight difference for sure when you're preparing for an exam, whereas when you're just doing it for not for an exam, because there is no pressure right now. Like with GATE CS, there was pressure for sure. Now I'm just doing like watching a lecture at my own pace, and that's how I'm doing it. But overall, my suggestion would be that you watch linear algebra ka module 1 and probability module 1 before you start with machine learning. And I found machine learning pretty tough. So go with it earlier only, like start with it as soon as possible and finish the, like, of course, like it will help you if you do the module 1 of both these subjects and then go to machine learning. Module 2, even if you have not done, that's fine, I think. See, for probability module 2, if you have not done, that's fine, you can go with machine learning, but start it as soon as possible. So see, that's why I said, if you think that only after you do like LA and probability, then you go to machine learning, then with that there's a slight probability that it will be delayed. So you complete LA. If you have already done most of it, then just complete it entirely, and the module 1 of probability. If you are just starting, then do just module 1 of both LA and probability, and then you start with machine learning. um Right, and calculus is easy only compared to all of this. So I would say calculus won't take much time. Just take out 2 to 3 days, study day and night calculus only, and finish it off. DBMS also, it's theoretical. It's different from the rest of the mathematics. So you can do it along with, like if you're doing, I would say if you're doing see, when you're doing ML, you will have to give a lot of time to understanding it. But if you're doing any other subject, like if you're doing calculus, then you can do DBMS along with it, like um, you can study half day calculus, the rest of the time DBMS. And AI I haven't done actually. So but you will have to manage. I can just suggest that do module 1 of both prob and LA, and then go to machine learning and start machine learning as soon as possible. AI also, I think there are a few theoretical things in there, uh, not very mathematics heavy, and DBMS though is theoretical only. So yes, and Python and that programming questions, you will find it easier only. Like all of this is good. Just machine learning is, I would say, the lengthiest subject. So do it beforehand. Okay. I hope that answers your question. Okay, I feel like we are done with 1 hour, so um, we can end the session. Thank you for joining, and I hope that you got some clarity. And best of luck to your preparation. Bye. Okay, just before ending, you asked a follow up question, and that was, you've done LA module 1 and probability you have started. Do I have enough time to cover, or am I late and need to give more study hours? What is the ideal study month completion? Okay, so see, you're never late. The only thing is that if you feel like you have not done enough, then see, if like whether or not you need to give more hours to study, then of course you should be, just give your 100%, like study as much as possible, like study all the time and whenever that's possible for you. Like unless and until you are not understanding anything, and you are really exhausted and burnt out, only then you can take a break for 1 hour or just go to bed early. But apart from that, yes, you'll have to give more hours to studying. Because see, linear, if you have done module 1, then just for LA and probability also you have just started, so most of the syllabus is left only. So for sure you'll have to increase your study hours, but that should not be at the cost of understanding lectures. You need to understand, but try to sit for longer, right? So you could cover more syllabus. An ideal month would be October, because then you have 3 months to do, like if October, if means that you have done the syllabus, you have revised it also, and then you have done the PYQs also. Because if you have not revised it, then the subjects that you had studied in July and June, July, then that would be like almost like starting from scratch if you have not revised it. So by October you need to complete your syllabus along with PYQs and revision, and then you'll have 3 months to revise again, to solve the test series subject wise, topic wise, and the full length mock test, and a lot of revision. So 3 months I think you would need for that. So October is good to complete, or mid November, just try to complete. And yes, sit for longer hours, because right now you would want to do anything it takes to complete the syllabus by October. Otherwise, later on, it would be too hectic for you. Okay then. Uh, Thanks for your question, and let's end it now. Bye.